Hello everyone, and welcome back to another Hearthstone deck spotlight. My name is Tommy Wave, and today we'll be looking at Bloodfire1004's Dragon Warrior. This comes to us from the front page of Hearthstone. Once again, if you are watching on YouTube, all the links are down in the description, including a link over to that Hearthstone deck article. And Bloodfire brings to us, I guess, something a little bit different to what we're used to seeing with warriors lately. We're seeing a lot of, odd warriors. We're seeing a lot of quest warrior, a lot of odd quest warrior. And each one has its pluses and its minuses. But I think one of the main things that I feel that I've said many times, particularly about Odd Warrior, is that unfortunately, compared to a lot of other decks out there, it doesn't have the kind of late game power that we see out of, various mage decks and things like that, which with Frostlich Jaina, and it certainly does struggle against a lot of these combo decks, so it can't really put out enough pressure before, a Mecha'thun deck inevitably draws its entire deck. But Bloodfire's gone for something a little bit different here. Still a very, I would like to say, a pretty heavy mid to late game deck. We can kind of look at this curve and we can see, there are quite a lot of drops past that kind of, quite a few in that 3, 4, 5, but also, 5 plus 7 drops, which is quite a few. We've also got other couple of cards here like Dragon Roar, which we definitely can't really say is might cost 2, but this is definitely not an early game card. So I do kind of like that we've got a fair bit of late game power here, between the Dragon's Roars. We've got some Warmaster Voon to help double, triple up on some of these cards to just give us more pieces to work with. We've got Akali, which is pretty good. We can rip out, Ziliax, we can rip out Crowley, even these Rabid Worgans from the deck and buff them up, which is quite good. Geosculptor Yip and Ysera, of course, provide a lot of advantage over time. Notably absent is Lich King from this lineup, which I think would fit quite well in here. The only kind of curious late game card, we've also got Crowd Roasters in here. The only curious late game card is Heavy Metal, which I would surely expect to see out of, obviously not an odd warrior, but maybe a more control-focused warrior, because in this deck we actually don't have a lot of armor generation. We've got obviously our hero power, we've got Armor Smith, we've got these Mountain Fire armors as well, though sometimes not too reliable is the Mountain Fire armor. But outside of that, there's really not too much in terms of the armor generation. Emberscale Drake is quite good. But we're not seeing cards like, Dry Whisker Armor, particularly Dry Whisker Cornered Sentry combo, and things like that. Or what's the project that gives both players a weapon? These types of things where you can really, your armor can get quite out of hand. So I think Heavy Metal is the most, the card that we'll be looking at the most in these games to see if it's worthwhile. Maybe it's a bit of a dead draw, and there could certainly be other things in here. Like I said, we could be putting Lich Kings in here. We could be looking more towards, early game cards to add some more removal to the deck. As you can see, we don't even have any brawls or anything in the deck, so we could certainly look elsewhere. These 2 slots could be something very different, but that's about all that we'll be looking for. Overall, I think it seems like it does have a pretty strong late game, and that's going to be the main thing that we're going to be testing. But without further ado, let's jump into some games, and even if we don't get some wins, hopefully we can get some learns. Let's go! Okay, we are here with Bloodfire1004's Dragon Warrior. It is pretty tempting to keep this Warmaster Voon, though. I mean, we'd really like to hit like a Fire Tree Witch Doctor early on. Even a Dragon's Roar early on could help us fill out our curve. Yeah, I think we'll send these back. Although, up against a mage, maybe we do need to try and go for a bit more of a value-orientated play, but we'll do the full mulligan here. Dragon Fire Armor, not the worst. We've even got a dragon in our hand to enable all of our tricks, which is good. Oh, very good. See what we get.
Job done.
Okay. I mean, Emerus is a pretty, not the worst game plan in the world.
Out of my jungle!
You're my deck rival. No one's anyone's rival.
Of obliteration.
Yes, deck partners. We've got a couple of people in chat who have formerly been featured on our deck spotlights. Funky Monkey and That Mage. Always a good time with That Mage in chat. Kind of going for the trade arena. I think we'll get our Mush Commander in here. Some early damage in. Hopefully our opponent does have the... yeah, do kill it, because now our heavy metal can actually do something. We'll go for the Ziliax here.
Unity, precision, clarity.
Getting a, would be much better to get an 8-drop though. Playing anything fun, interesting, successful lately? That Mage. That Mage actually came up with a really sick, like, mid-range Paladin deck that you should definitely check out. When it has the Blizzard or something here, we'll happily snap off a heavy metal for some big numbers. I put a fire video on it. It was alright, it was alright. Maybe I only missed Leaflet once. Kinda glad we dodged that. I think I will go for this heavy metal. I mean, we gotta test the card out, right?
I bury them.
Yeah, alright.
To me!
Let's just get some damage in. Was kind of tempting to like trade with the Firefly, face with the Mountain Fire, but
Flames consume you.
okay. So we could go like Blood Razor, Smolderthorn Lancer.
What now?
My dragon be hungry!
We'll just take out this Firefly.
Job's done.
They have another Blaze Caller in hand, then they can't, you know, Blaze Caller and Ping or something like that. Giant. Problem here is if they have Jaina, we kind of need to take care of this Mountain Giant. I do kind of want to drop this Emerus next turn, so maybe we want to pop this Dragon Roar off. Like Dragon Roar Night Scale Matriarch.
Awaken my children!
See if they have Jaina. I think they might need Jaina to get out of this one.
Do not fear power. Fear those who wield it.
Alright folks, we're in a bit of a pickle. We do have the ultimate late game plan of looping Emerai. But dealing with these elementals without dying is going to be a little bit harder than we think.
I wonder.
Especially when this Night Scale Matriarch doesn't really do too much. This is exactly your fear that you said at the intro. It was. We said that our late game... Well, the problem with Warriors late game is that Jaina sometimes pops up and is a real tough mother to beat.
Let's get this party started! I'm boss and
Dragon food!
be gone!
I'm glad you made a deck with Blessing of Wisdom too. Yeah, that Blessing of Wisdom proved to be really, really amazing in the Bogle style Paladin deck. You can maybe even say it was one of the best cards. Just made a Spiteful Paladin deck lately with 6% win rate. Spiteful Paladin. So with Dino Size? Or can you do it with Dino Size and Kangors now?
I should meet you. In your face!
Dragon food! Dragon food!
Rastakhan!
Dragon food!
Alright, one Emerus down.
Flames consume you.
It's okay. As long as they don't get a lot of face damage, we might be okay. Give you an upload that mage? Hell yeah! I'm always trying to get people to spread the love because unfortunately, you know, it's not always the case that people check out the Hearthstone deck article.
Be reborn in the
But as the lovely people in chat do say, of course, should always check out the Hearthstone article, even if it's just to you know, give it a +1 or something like that. Just read some mulligan guides. It always helps out. I always make sure to upvote anyone whose deck I use. I need some Tauntos pronto. Heavy metal not too useful right now. Fortunately, we've used our only Ziliax, so... I mean, Militia Commander off the top could be good. We could combine it with a Blood Razor. Fire Tree Witch Doctor could be good to help find some... like a shield block or something like that.
winners moves, empires fall.
When buffed up with Keleseth or a Glowstone, there's so much value. What is... Oh, there's the Spiteful. Very good. I'll check that out in a sec. Oh, dear. Admittedly, if we can kill this, then we have lethal in play, right? Can we kill this? Don't think we can. We're close though, right?
What now?
Is there a way through? Oh, we can Blood Razor
What now?
Crowley attack. No, we can't because we're frozen. I'm sure there's dozens of nerds screaming at their computer screen right now that I have lethal, but can't see it, friends. Can't see it. We even missed the attack,
fatal
but we were dead
mistake.
to the oh no, we're one off. Yeah, couldn't find a lethal there. If we weren't frozen, then yes, we would have had it.
A fatal mistake.
But I think even if we did get the attack in there, yeah, that was close. It was surprising how close that is. But then again, we did have to roll pretty. We had to roll pretty well, or pretty specifically, off those dragon roars, and also get the Voon in order to double up on those Emerai. And even then, we were just a little bit off. So we'll see how we go in the next one. All right. Here with Bloodfire1004's Dragon Warrior. I think we'll keep this Mountain Fire armor. Send everything else back. Though those Smolder Thorn Lances are extremely valuable. This deck doesn't have a lot of
None will survive.
this deck doesn't have a lot of single target removal options up against Odd Mage here. Now, theoretically, we should have a better late game than an Odd Mage, right? Even if it's the more hand-orientated Odd Mage.
Look how it burns.
Look, Howard, it burns.
Defend the gates. To me. Strike.
Well, so why isn't Spiteful Warrior a thing? Why isn't Spiteful Warrior a thing? What spell are you trying to use it with? Because you really need to have... I think you really need to get to 8 mana in order to make Spiteful worth it. There's just such a massive, like... what would you call it? Not like a... It's like a threshold kind of thing. Once you hit 8... I think we should take an execute.
Strike.
The spell you use for 9 mana is Boom Ship, and 9 mana minions aren't that great. Generally, yeah. That's true. Best minions to get at 8 and 10, yep. And 7 and 9 aren't that good on average, yeah. I definitely played a couple of, like, Luna's Pocket Galaxy, Spiteful Mage lists. Can attest that they are just not that good. Not good enough. Might just go for the Ember Scale Drake. Try and save the Crowley for when they're maybe a bit lower on removal. Although that does set us up to not have a dragon potentially for turn 7. So I think we'll go with the Crowley.
Rush the enemy! Defend your
Even though the Crowley does kind of just trade for one of the minions in the hero power. In worst case scenario, they have another Pyromaniac, I guess. Maybe we should have gone for like Dragon Roar Mountain Fire Armor. That's pretty good. That's probably an even worse case scenario. Any 7s that are worth it? Are there any 7 mana warrior spells? I'm not too sure. I got a Syndragosa, so you potentially got some late game. Crowd Roaster here for any potential big boys that aren't a mountain giant. I tested Spiteful in Mage with Pyroblast and it didn't seem too bad. Not that great either though. Yeah, Spiteful Mage has not been... I haven't had a lot of success with Spiteful Mage. Not to say that it's bad, but... yeah. Some decks are better than others.
Defend the gates! To me!
Job done.
I kind of feel like our opponent's allowed to draw as many cards as they want. We just need to not die. Pretty soon the new expansion will rotate. Pretty soon the new expansion and rotation will be out. Tons of new content to be had with that. Right, but I'm gonna cry. I love Ungoro. We all love Ungoro.
What to do?
I'm just excited because I think have just so much more of the last year's sets than I do of Ungoro, Knights of the Frozen Throne, and the other one. Give me that armor. Give me that armor. Opponent kind of letting us have some armor for free there. How nice of them. This will be another one where if our opponent has Jaina, we gotta try and take advantage of the next couple of turns before that does happen. I guess that's why we can't let our opponent draw cards. All this armor, need a heavy metal, yeah. Come on, deck. Serve it up to us right now. Although 11's not a great one.
My dragon be hungry!
Ungoro was the best set to date, in my opinion. Ooh. Was Ungoro the best set? I think Ungoro was really, really good. However, the one downside to Ungoro is there was no solo content, right? Oh my gosh, I should just title this video, Boy Gets Beat Up by Jaina for 30 minutes. Damn it, Syndragosa. Find me some answers. Well,
By my frozen heart.
Icy winds of Northland will consume your soul!
yes, I vote for that title. Oh gosh. Photoshop yourself in the thumbnail with a black eye. I don't know, that kind of sounds like clickbait to me.
Engaging TC-1
No!
to dislocator.
I guess that's... Is that the best case scenario? Like, would I want to give them the 0-1 that they can then destroy themselves? I guess we gotta play one of these, right? To pop our own. But then we don't have any armor. Could play 2 of them. We'll kill that. Leaves that up. Lottie. So they can trade here. Untitled Stone, Hearth Mage. Oh my gosh, is that kind of what it's been feeling like lately? I mean, we haven't been on the standard ladder for a hot minute. So check out HS replays and see those usage percentages. Where are they? No, Paladin's still at the top. That's where I thought it would be. Or is that just win rates? Usage rates might be different. Power Incarnate?
By my frozen heart.
Of obliteration.
And what can we get off Tokyo? Sure. Europe? I wonder if they'll ever print a card, class or neutral, making all your dragons in hand cost 1 less, similar to the 5-Plume Harbinger in Shaman for elementals. For sure they will, 100%. I think that's a very, like, explored mechanic. I think we could definitely see like a Galvanizer or a 5-Plume Harbinger for dragons in the future. I don't think it's too risky. Seems like they're trying to push dragons lately. I mean, they push dragons every so often for different classes, right? Like, the last time we even had a dragon warrior card was probably like Alex Straza's champion. I think that was like a warrior specific dragon card. And then I don't think we had any until, you know, Smolder Thornlancer and Emberscale Drake until Voon and that kind of stuff. So, feels like they kind of come back to the archetype every X sets. But who knows, maybe next time it'll be Druid that get the dragon cards. Saint Akira, what the? Where are my sexy mech boys? Mech boys, you can find on YouTube through our Battletech playthrough. We're playing some Hearthstone now, of course. We're playing with Bloodfire1004's Dragon Warrior, and we are getting beaten up by Mage all day. Beaten up by Jaina, specifically. But thank you for joining me, Saint Akira. Always good to have you in chat. Oh. See if we can get our own Ragnaros. Toki. Ours will cost 14 though, not 7. Ugh. Get it right this time. Ah. So I guess we need to not die then, hey? And we only have two dragons, though. 2 dragons in this dragon deck! Oh, gosh.
My dragon be hungry.
Where was this card a little bit earlier in the game? Sorry, we had to first cast the Dragon's Roar to get the Sindragosa, and then kill the Frozen Champion to get the Toki, and then we had to play the Toki to get the Deathwing Dragon Lord. So that's where it was earlier in the game. Like, 6 turns in the past. This one doesn't have Rush Poisonous, right? It's like the Stealth Poisonous. The Rush is the 4-2. D-Insect. D. Where's my armor? Oh, right there.
I'm fast and furious. Power takes many forms.
Stealth Poisonous? Probably dies to all the AoE, right? Why is there no hide button here, by the way? Did they not code that?
In your face!
Yeah, did they not code the hide options button for when discovering 1 of 4? What if you got Fandral from Toki? Oh my gosh. That would be very good. Damn, forgot about Fandral. No. Should have gone for the taunt. Okay. Or do we just go for the Deathwing? I feel like we need to kill this Baron Geddon visual. We're just never going to cast this Deathwing, by the way. It's okay. We're going to top... Our opponent's going to do nothing aggressive. Just like that. Don't care about your 515. It's all good. We're going to top deck Ysera. Geosculptor Yip. That's what I meant. I think we'll go for... do we go for, like, Yip Hero Power? Trying to set up next turn, like, Emberscale Drake Hero Power for a bigger one? Because they for sure are going to ping this. So maybe they don't have room. Or if they have, like, something else, maybe? I don't know. Vox, sup cuties, what deck are we playing? Vox, we're playing a Bloodfire1004's Dragon Warrior. So it's doing some stuff. We're doing things, but then we inevitably will. We're just kind of dying to these late game threats. Play Meat Warrior. Dragon's Fury for 5. No, my board. Fortunately, the devs have said that they aren't going to print any more infinite value cards like Jaina or Rexa in the future. We have to deal with these for 1 more month. I mean, I don't necessarily have a problem with the infinite value cards, per se. I think my problem is more... like, I think Rexa is actually very fair. I think it's... You know, I think it's totally fine to... I think it's totally fine to have a card that, you know, gives you a late game chance. And yes, it might provide infinite value, but doesn't necessarily... How do I not die here? 8, 11, 12, 13. I guess we need to play the Emberscale Drake, right? But we have to... This is, yeah, 13. We can't, like, copy and play 2.
What now?
I think we're dead.
I must choose.
Oh, we'll see if our opponent misses it. Maybe our best line was to just play Nosdormu. Pass back as soon as we, as quickly as we could. Yeah, I think Rexar's fine, but cards like, admittedly, cards like Gul'dan and Jaina feel, do feel unbeatable at some points. So I think there's a certain line, and maybe it's just that, you know, when they made the late game Death Knights, they tuned them way up, because admittedly the most fair Death Knights are the cheapest ones, right? Like Rexar, Thrall. I think all of those feel pretty good. See, what if they killed the Deathwing Dragon Lord right there? And we dropped a Nosdormu and play and the turn immediately ended. That would have been nice. But no. Unfortunately, Frostlich Jaina does it again. GG's. Okay, back here with Bloodfire1004's Dragon Warrior. I think we're going to keep both the Rabid and the Mountain Fire armor, especially against a Paladin. I think both these cards are quite good. Mountain Fire armor being a reasonable body that if our opponent does want to take care of, then it puts them further away from winning. Rabid Worgen, of course, gets on board early. And we drew the Blood Razor, of course, which is actually probably maybe a reason we should have sent one of these back, is to give ourselves some extra shots at hitting a Blood Razor. This is one of the most important cards in the matchup. I think I've definitely played a lot of games, both on the Warrior side of things and on the Paladin side of things. Oh, actually not Odd Paladin, so
I see a vision in
not even. What do we take here then? Could be combo. Could be any number of things right now. I think we'll take the Commanding Shout. I think it's probably the most conservative take. While Brawl probably has the highest potential for impact. I think Commanding Shout, at least, worst case scenario, just cycles a card. And that's kind of what the market that we might be in for. Has there been any news about the next expansion? No, it doesn't look like it. Probably in 2 weeks they'll start announcing stuff. That sounds about right, Funky. I'd trust you on that one. Ooh, maybe this is mid-range Paladin. It'll be my first time seeing the meta change so drastically, so I'm excited. Yeah, this is definitely the most exciting time to be playing Hearthstone, is right when an expansion rotates out, particularly if they have a really strong expansion to start with that brings a lot of people in. I think a lot of people will really... I think people came back for Knights of the Frozen Throne. Another secret. Okay, so we do need to be careful of something like Get Down and Auto Defense Matrix. In that order as well. Miss. This looks like Secret Paladin. But this one gets it, not this one. Now these decks do have some amount of late game. A lot of know, Sunkeeper Tarim, Lich King. Ooh. Blessing of Kings. I think we'll just take the trade here. We don't get the armor, but
Job's done.
just happy to be done with this large threat. Beyond 21, 4 cards versus 5. We do have a Blood Razor in place, so especially with our opponent having quite a lot of secrets in their deck.
Reporting for duty.
Heavy metal. I think this is probably the one that's going to reduce our health to 1, but happy to just run into it. No, nothing. We'll leave it. If they want to chuck a Blessing of Kings on this, that's fine. Spike-Rich Steed might be irritating though. Watch out for Call to Arms. Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. Soaring Sentry's here to play. We do have a Blood Razor in play, so I think Call to Arms is going to be the most threatening thing.
I'm fast and furious! Get down!
Get down.
Get down!
And we can clear this. I think we should, because it's getting towards Sunkeeper Tarim territory.
In your face!
Also known as the Tarim. Okay, we managed to use the commanding shout. Okay, that's pretty good. Jimbo De Niro, Tommy Waverino, lovely to see you. Hope you had a great weekend. We had a fantastic weekend. Ooh, we just toasted this paladin as well. So Dragon Warrior feels good. I think we had a pretty good draw. That Blood Razor was actually really important to the matchup, even though it wasn't Odd Paladin rather. Yeah, we just had a really good draw. That I think that Fire Tree Witch Doctor really set up the game for us. So GG's. All right, we are here with Bloodfire1004's Dragon Warrior, kind of armor Dragon Warrior, I think they called it, as it does have a couple of different themes in here. We just finished playing a couple of games with it, and there are definitely some things to like, and there are definitely some lessons to be learned. I think that heavy metal, I think we need to go one of two ways. I think we either need to cut the heavy metal and play some more consistent cards, you know, get some more single targeted removal in the deck, things like that. I'd love to see execute. An Execute or two, maybe even try out a Devastate or something like that. Look towards cards like Brawl or something like that to shore up certain matchups. Or I think we need to commit even more to the heavy metal. You know, it was pretty often we weren't able to get the critical mass of armor that we needed to keep pumping out huge heavy metals. So I'd love to see cards like Dry Whisperer Armor, even combined with Cornered Sentry, in that slot, just to make sure that we're always going to have a nice amount of armor, you know, even shield block or something like that. So I think we want to go one of two directions. I think that if by cutting the heavy metal and, you know, probably the mountain fire armors as well, we could probably move this more towards a typical dragon deck. But that's not so interesting. So let me know in the comments, or if you're on Hearthstone, let me know in response to this video. What do you think? Should this deck be moving more in one direction? Do you think it's perfect as it is? Let me know what you think. Until next time though, of course, my name's Tommy Wave. All the links are down in the description, including a link over to the Hearthstone deck article. Please jump over there, leave a lovely thoughtful comment, and give the deck a +1 if you could. My links are down there as well. Best place to catch me is on Twitter at Tommy_Wave, or right here on Twitch. Watch me miss lethal live at Tommy_Wave. Until next time though, stay safe, stay wavy, eat the rich, and play some dragons. Bye. I hope you enjoyed that video. check out other ones over here, or come subscribe to the Wave Pool for more excellent times.